There's playing defense and then there's really playing defense, right?
Yeah.
In that possession, you see live bodies getting after it.
I mean, this is Nets defense. How they're closing these passing lanes, hands in cookie jars.
Powers it down after the steal.
And they have matched that type of physicality.
One of my favorite examples of the year, ball screen coverage and applying pressure up the floor. So if you're a coach judging your team's own defense, what do you see on this possession?
Well, I just see great activity. I see live bodies. They're moving on the pass, not the catch. Good gap help right there. Now you got to be smarter not to reach in there at the end. But just the overall activity. This is just a live team. That's an excellent job, Day'Ron. Day'Ron Sharpe is up there. He's after it. Trendon Watford getting after it. The activity, the hands, the feet. You just like the focus of these guys and reacting, pressuring. Activity, you'll love it.
And sometimes, like basketball analysis is simple. The ball's not supposed to go back towards half court.
Very good.
And the Sixers don't get it inside the perimeter until 4 seconds on the shot clock, and there's a foul, but just the mentality.
And just watch which team is more uncomfortable than the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just kind of watch the game. Boy, they look like they're annoying right there. They're just getting after it.
You got to rotate and you got to fly around behind all of these aggressive coverages.
Absolutely.
And you posted this play on Twitter, on social media during the season. What are you seeing right here?
Great rotation on the weak side by Jalen Wilson coming over, right? As tag man, he read the whole play. When the ball goes away from you and the roll man's coming down, the weak side's got to come over, and he came over in proper position. It's not just one thing to be there on the catch. You got to be there prior to the catch. And because he was there that early, all right, he forced a turnover right there. First of all, he traveled.
So he forced two.
Then he just misses the ball. I also love the fact that Day'Ron Sharpe was out on the perimeter and then scrambled back to keep that ball alive.
And the thing I also like about this is Trendon ends up, so we're going to see it right here. Jalen is the initial low man. He's rotating over. Trendon knows that he's bigger than Jalen. He gets him out of there.
Very good.
And then you get the downstream effect of Trendon has a cross match on the other end now because he's matched up with Drummond. You get early offense, boom. This is a matchup I like.
That's
Foul.
great stuff. That's great stuff right there. Great call by you going to the next level with the cross match.
Yeah, defense informing offense.
Right there, getting in there, digging, getting after it. Day'Ron Sharpe was out on the perimeter, being up to the level, being active, and he sprints back and tips that ball to initiate the transition.
That's a great closeout by Keon Johnson. Moody could not pull the trigger. Stepped out of bounds on the sideline. Turnover 13 for the Warriors.
I wanted to just close with this play that, again, you were all over. I think it's clear why they forced a turnover on Steph Curry, and 2 times they played the Warriors this year. It was just a high intensity, exhausted just from watching it. Kind of walk us through this possession.
I love everything, right? I got Tyrese Martin on the ball with, one of the greatest players in the history of the game. He passes it out, but look at the reaction time right there. Reaction by Keon Johnson, right? Closes out, but here's Tyrese Martin I love the communication right here. Look at Tyrese, he's telling Keon, we got a screen, get out there. He beats him out there, he's right on the catch. They end up forcing a turnover. I thought that was one of the best defensive possessions of the year, considering it was Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
And it's a 3-point game. It's in the fourth quarter. You've had to guard him all game. And we see Steph all the time wear guys down. You wear defenses down. You get open in the fourth for the back-breaking shots. But here, it's the ball pressure that we talked about at the beginning. It is off-ball communication, sort of an unscripted way. Hey, emergency switch.
Right.
And then they close it out with 2 on the ball on a screen.
And how many times has Steph Curry beat teams because he's underneath the basket and relocates out and nobody talks about it, and he knocks down the biggest shots of the game.
That's the classic Steph Curry, play. Yeah, you can contain the first drive as the Nets do here, and then you get up and he's moving off the ball. So for the fact that Brooklyn able to do both.
I love the effort right there. I love the close there, but I love the talk of Tyrese Martin right there. This never happens. He's pointing and talking at the same time to Keon Johnson, and then he's right there on the catch. That's just great stuff.
Yeah, this, I think, is a great play to end on because it really encapsulates all of what we talked about. Ball pressure, it's the effort, it's the communication. Those 3 words really sum up to me Brooklyn's defense this year.
A steal. Williams takes it in for the slam. Back in Memphis with a big finish.
What do we going to be looking forward to next year, Summer League, whenever we see the Nets take the court again? Because it's a great starting point.
It's a great starting point. The defensive activity is great. You know, the game is really connected.
Yeah.
So how are they? It's one of the ways you can get better at your defense is offensively improving. Let's be honest. Have the ball go in the basket more. Now, if you look at the roster of the improvement of several of the Nets young players, from November to December to January to February, their shooting percentages, a number of guys went up. That's connected to your defense. I hate to say it. Long rebounds are hard to defend all the time. Taking care of the basketball, all those things. And oftentimes you see teams, when they're making baskets, their defense even goes to a whole other level.
Yeah.
The other thing is you can't pick up full.
You can't, I was just about to say, you can't pick up full. We talked about the full court pressure. You can't really pick up full off a live ball. You get to the free throw line, the game slows down.
Exactly.
All that stuff.
But we saw a lot of young players get great opportunities to play this year and really do a lot for their NBA careers, I thought.
It's going to be effort, and it's going to be defense, and every coach loves that, not just Jordi Fernandez, who did a great job this year.
Great stuff.